In the 2018 Daytona DMAX Heavy Heats Championship, we've come to the Garden of England, the magnificent Buckmore Park circuit. And in this incredible fight, which is a three-way tussle between Rob Bennett, Alex Pritchard and Lee Whitney, anything can happen. All the way through the heats, it's been particularly fast, furious and frenetic. So now we go to the final showdown to see which of those three men will emerge at the halfway point in the championship with the lead intact. Let's get them underway then for the Heavy Heats finale. Three drivers fighting for the title, as we know: Rob Bennett, Lee Whitney and Alex Pritchard. Pritchard is the highest starting driver of this mix of drivers, because we have the 41 towards the sharp end, Richard Allen, who's been really on sharp form all day long here in the Enduro earlier and in the heat spanners. He is going full guns blazing today.
Yeah, he's got to be among the favourites. Where's he starting in this race?
Pole position.
Nice.
So he is right there at the front end. Second place Pritchard, then it is Lee Whitney, Rob Bennett, and it's going to be a tough battle behind because Robert Pertak's been very solid. Lee Schnitzler is going to be with him on the starting grid. But it's so tough to call. Richard Allen has put himself in all the right places with all the right moves, and now he's got a great chance to go for the victory. So let's see how this final unravels. Some top talent in this grid.
Pritchard Whitney's going to be a great battle with Rob Bennett breathing behind down the next as well.
Yeah, all three of them.
If they start connecting, you do fear that Richard Allen, if he gets out ahead, might dominate this final.
Well, it's not too big a problem for the championship if he does, because he's not in the top three, and there's a big deficit to fourth position between the top three. So the top three drivers, Bennett, Whitney, and Bennett, Whitney, and Pritchard, are battling for the championship in second, third, and fourth on the grid in this race. So that's the battle everybody's come here to see in the Heavy Heats final. It's going to be a great run, and they're going to be absolutely no holds barred as they come to the line. So Richard Allen from pole position. The consistency has been very strong all day for Alex Pritchard. He lines up alongside him. Then Whitney, then Bennett, Schnitzler, Almu, Pertak, and away we go. Green flags wave, and it's a cracking start. So away we go. Richard Allen actually had two arms in the air as he came across the line there. So I don't know what that was all about, but Richard Allen leads the way comfortably as Whitney goes for broke immediately on Alex Pritchard and gets second place. Terrific start. Rob Bennett's got an absolute howler. He's dropped down into about sixth position as Pritchard now drops to fourth position behind Lee Schnitzler.
He took a lot of grass to try and defend that third place. Pritchard pushing Schnitzler down the start-finish straight. Lots of contact, clearly got the pace.
Bennett's gone for Pritchard, and that's held them both up, but Bennett's gone through into P4. Pertak in sixth place now from Almu. Then it's Newton, Stard, Holiday, Hirani, Martin and Cienko. Out in front though, it is Richard Allen from Lee Whitney. Third place Schnitzler, and then it's Bennett versus Pritchard. But Whitney is going to get a massive bag of points here in second place.
I can tell you that Pritchard had to lift there. He was getting so close to Bennett, and he's taken a lunge down into turn 9, but he's gone wide and Bennett's back up on the inside of turn 10. That's a fantastic battle. Yeah, so Pritchard did have to lift going down there.
No surprises, that's always a tough place to get caught out and hung out to dry. Now Tarek Almu and Robert Pertak behind him. Pertak in sixth, Almu in seventh. They're going to be charging hard to close up the gap. Paul Studd is having a go at Richard Newton as the leading super heavy. Studd is in there in the top 10, doing a good job as they continue to battle away for position. And that's a massive dive up the inside from Gary Martin, I think it was, trying to come through on the inside. But out in front, it is still Allen being chased down by the fastest man on the track, Lee Whitney, as we go into lap 3.
Pritchard Bennett is the big battle on track at the moment, and Pritchard so close up behind Bennett. Looks for the attack, but actually Bennett took quite a defensive line. Pritchard decided to try and half go for it instead of sweeping around the outside, which means, of course, he doesn't get that momentum going up towards turn 10, and he's going to have to wait another lap to try and have a go, but that's where he's looking to overtake.
0.7 of a second is the gap between Richard Allen and Lee Whitney at the front of this field. Lee Schnitzler in third position. The new fastest lap comes from Rob Bennett in P4, having got past Alex Pritchard. He's now trying to leave him standing. Sixth place is Robert Pertak in front of Tarek Almu. Then it's Newton, Holiday, Studd, Hirani, Martin and Blaise Cienko. This is a titanic battle at the moment as Richard Allen in front of Lee Whitney trying to stretch away, but there is not much to choose between them at all in terms of one lap pace. Rob Bennett has caught back to the tail of Lee Schnitzler, and he's going to try and make a move into third position. Schnitzler going well here as he goes through the apex of turn 1. Neat and tidy for Schnitzler at the moment, but Bennett is still going to have a try. He doesn't do anything about it into 3. Pritchard's close. He's going to need to get on with this quickly and pass Lee Schnitzler rapidly, because otherwise Pritchard is going to have a chance to come through. Schnitzler drifts wide and that balks him, so Pritchard's now got another run.
Oh, this is going to be juicy coming into the bottom part of the track here as Schnitzler's defending off Rob Bennett. Rob Bennett goes out wide and Alex Pritchard took advantage of it. There's contact and Lee Pritchard's pulled out of it, but they did connect and bang wheels going into turn 9.
So if they come back up the hill, it's obviously going to be very frenetic between them as they come through. But Schnitzler there in front of Bennett and Pritchard. No change, but certainly very feisty. Bennett now trying to come back past Schnitzler. He's going to make a very late lunge to come through. And that's going to hold them both up. Pritchard nerfs his way past Schnitzler. Now he's going to try and make the same move on Bennett. Schnitzler takes his revenge and gets back past Pritchard. That was messy.
So much contact.
That was really quite rude from all three of them in one stage of that. Clearly not wanting to let any of them concede any positions at all.
But that's brought Pertak right back into that battle as well.
And Tarek Almu's gone with him, so it's no longer a 3-kart scrap, it's a 5-kart scrap.
Pritchard went sideways a bit going into turn 9. They're going for an overtake, so he's lost a bit of momentum now.
I think Paul Studd made the move on Darren Holiday a little behind them there as well, and I think he's made that one stick. Bennett's got clear in 3rd position though, as now Alex Pritchard is looking for a way to come through despite having a warning flag for contact. He now tries his best to get on terms with Lee Schnitzler once again, who moves across defensive line once again in the top 3. This is already settled by the look of it.
Just one warning for contact. I think that's getting away with it. Going into turn 4 a couple of laps ago, they were so close.
Pritchard again at the inside. Now he's going to make the space. That was jubilant. Absolutely terrific. That was such a sweet move. Alex Pritchard, full of confidence, and now Tarek Almu is going to make the same move, and that's going to hold Lee Schnitzler at bay. Can Robert Pertak repeat the move on the way out of turn 9? But Alex Pritchard, he needed to get his elbows out there and pull off a move, and that was one heck of an overtake. Almu and Pertak have both got through as well. Where is Lee Schnitzler? Schnitzler's gone a long way down the order. I think he got took out sideways there up at Garda. We'll see a replay of it, and that's cost Lee Schnitzler an awful lot of time. Helmet cam from Schnitzler. This is a big problem as far as he's concerned. He has lost an awful lot of ground. Pritchard's gone through, so has Almu, so has Pertak, so has Holiday, Studd and Hirani too. We're getting into the closing stages of the race now. We're certainly in the second half. And Bennett has caught right up to Lee Whitney. We're not done, and the 3 championship combatants are right together. 2nd, 3rd and 4th behind Richard Allen.
Let's see if Ben James is a really good editor by saying, now let's go on board with Lee Pritchard. Except I said Lee instead of Alex.
Alex Pritchard through turn 1 as they continue on in the battle. Look how close he's got to Rob Bennett, who's now getting close to Lee Whitney. This is a great onboard battle to watch as Alex Pritchard gets tight up close. It is a 3-way scrap for 2nd position, and this is the championship battle as well. Whitney, Bennett, Pritchard, 2nd, 3rd, 4th behind Richard Allen. Allen's out in the distance. Forget about him. He's a distant memory. But this is the championship squabble.
Contact there with Pritchard on Bennett.
And Bennett once again has to move across the cover to stop Pritchard coming back through. But this is going to get interesting for Lee Whitney as he comes back up the hill, as he hangs on a 2nd position. Richard Allen's coming through one more time with feeling. But still these 3 squabbling frenetically as they come up to the line once more to begin the next lap. Into lap 12. And still Whitney hangs on a 2nd in front of Bennett, in front of Pritchard. Whitney going massive on the defense. Bennett's trying to tuck in, and watch for Pritchard. He's going to sweep up the inside of Bennett and take 3rd position. We are not done. What a sweep move again from Pritchard. Absolutely brilliant.
You can see him lining that up from the exit of turn 3. He just put himself right up the inside and said, I'm going for it.
Well, ever since Pritchard cracked the top step of the podium a few meetings ago, his confidence has just been soaring. Now he's going to try and outfox Whitney.
He's had to lift off, though, going up towards turn 10, so he's going to struggle to fend Bennett off. And Bennett has got past him. They're side by side coming up Damon Hill.
Bennett commits. Pritchard's going to hold it to the outside, having gone straight off the road. I don't think anybody's going to be particularly kind to him about that one. But Pritchard hangs on to 3rd position for the moment. Whitney's defending. So let's see, through turn 3, again Whitney holds the inside line. Again Pritchard goes with him to cover.
If I was Bennett, I'd feel slightly aggrieved that he was able to hold on to his position going and cutting across that last corner.
And that's something he'll definitely have a conversation about later. Meanwhile, though, Pritchard is going to have another crack at Lee Whitney. Whitney moves to cover. And unfortunately, Pritchard wasn't quite smooth enough through turn 9 to get a good run. And Richard Allen continues on through this straight once again. Another lap completed.
A real tough defence there. Bennett went round the outside of turn 11.
And he's got through. He has got through this time. So Bennett is back in a third position on Pritchard.
Did Bennett use that same piece of off-road track to overtake that Pritchard used to defend the lap before?
I think he might have done, but now he's already on the assault for Lee Whitney.
Scales of justice might have balanced out there then.
Yeah, I think that was 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. That's yin and yang, and how they continue on now.
This is really good racing,
This is superb. This is the 3 drivers fighting for the championship, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Richard Allen can take a clean victory out in front, dominant. But this is the championship points battle for 2nd place. Whoever comes out on top effectively goes into the second half of the season with the best confidence boost.
I think Bennett's going to lose out, and he has. He's lost out to Pritchard in turn 10.
So here they come again. Over the line once more. Pritchard again sweeps round to try and make a move on Lee Whitney onto the inside line. That was too assertive because Whitney was moving to cover nicely. Bennett tried to come the long way round. Pritchard balked in a little bit there by Whitney. And here comes Rob Bennett to the far side. Pritchard's going to have to move to the inside line to block to cover. Meanwhile, Tarek Almu behind them is making the move for 5th position on Paul Studd. So Almu trying to come through. He ends up losing places. Holiday comes up in a 6th position as a result.
Lee Whitney goes defensive into turn 9. Rob Bennett tries to sweep round the outside. He's got a really good run, but he's had to lift before going into turn 10. He was directly behind Alex Pritchard, and Alex Pritchard defends.
Last lap, it's now on ever as they go into the last lap. These 3 will squabble for position. Whitney, Pritchard and Bennett. Allen's going to get the victory, no problem. But these 3 will squabble away for the championship lead at the halfway point in the series as they come through up towards the hairpin once again. Trying to come and tuck in round the outside. This is going to be a sensational scrap as Pritchard has to hold off Bennett while also setting up an attacking move on Whitney. This is where it's going to get very interesting as Pritchard is lining up Whitney. Bennett is just waiting for an opportune moment. Down the hill they go. Allen is going to take the victory, but these guys will battle for 2nd to the bitter end. Whitney's
gone defensive. Bennett tries to go around the outside. It doesn't look like anyone's got the momentum for a pass at the moment, and Pritchard's gone really defensive narrowly.
Richard Allen jubilant again. He won the Enduro, now he's won the heat final. Who's going to get 2nd? It looks to me like it's going to be Whitney, just from Pritchard. And that's a big one for Whitney after the misery he's had today. That is as good as a victory for Lee Whitney in 2nd place. Pritchard in 3rd, 4th is Bennett. And look at that, fist bumping again between Pritchard and Bennett. That's all great in love and war.
The real battle was between Pritchard and Bennett, and they kind of left Whitney a little bit alone.
Look at the sportsmanship between these 3. Great camaraderie. These 3 love racing each other. It's sensational. Whitney, Pritchard and Bennett. They are the 3 musketeers of this championship. They are comrades in arms. They love racing for every single lap of every single round we go to. And it's brilliant to watch them scrap away. So let's have them all in the air, ladies and gentlemen. To Paul Studd, Alex Pritchard, Lee Whitney and Richard Allen. Give them a round of applause, guys. Thank you very much.
In the end, that fantastic battle with Rob Bennett kind of let Lee Whitney off the hook in 2nd.
Yeah, I think Lee had it good because we were sort of really pulling on him, but he was just too good at defending. We had a really good race in one of the heats, and he just learned how to do it so well that he just became annoyingly good at it.
Really respectful racing though between you and Rob Bennett, shaking hands, fist pumping at the end. In another category, that might have been quite emotional, but you guys seem to race really well together.
Yeah, I think Rob was perhaps a bit more emotional about it than I was being behind, but no, I quite like racing with Rob. Particularly really chuffed for Lee. Always good to have a run out with Lee. Really enjoyed that. Enjoyed the race today, and yeah, good.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Alex. That was an epic race. Fighting with Rob Bennett, managed to beat him, but 2nd place man Lee Whitney. The day started off quite calamitous. You ended up getting collected in one of the heat finals as well, quite randomly. But to come through in 2nd place is an amazing result.
Yeah, really happy. I sort of was scrapping behind, let me get away. I saw him closing, and just shut the shop, and I think it's my best defensive drive so far. Usually I would have conceded one, if not both of those positions, so really happy with the 2nd place.
So when you see Richard Allen disappearing into the distance, do you think, right, I've just got to keep these 2 behind me?
basically by that point. Yeah, I tried to go with him at the start, but he's been flawless. He flies around here. So yeah, brilliant drive by Richard. Tried to hang on to him, couldn't, and yeah, just tried to hold those two back behind me. So yeah, just really happy with seconds. Good.
Great second place result, Lee Whitney. Thank you very much, Lee. But here's the man of the moment here at Buckmore Park, Richard Allen. No one could touch you today.
Well, it's my own track, my favourite track, so it had to be done. And I said I was going to win, and that's one thing I did.
I'm glad that you were modest about that at the beginning, but at least you followed through. How do you feel about going forward now in the championship?
Listen, the championship's still close. Anything can happen. There's still 5 rounds left. I've really enjoyed today, though. I had a great endurance race with Tarek. That was good. And then obviously in the heats, I just managed to get away, and that was it. Didn't make one mistake. Just put my head down, and that was it. This is the result.
Great result, Richard Allen. Well done. Thank you very much. That's our winner of our heavy heats. Thank you very much. Jake, how entertaining was that battle all the way for the podium? Rob Bennett, Lee Whitney, Alex Pritchard, just incredible action.
And with Richard Allen winning and those three battling for second, third and fourth, it tightens up the championship. 5 rounds to go. It's all going to be very close. Get onto the website if you want to book your place on the grid, DaytonaMax.co.uk. There's still half of the season left.